Hello model car fans, welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Revell, and this week just some more updates on my 69 Chevelle SS396 Revell kit project that I'm building and turning into the Yenko. So in my last video you saw I completely finished painting the body and getting the decals on it. So since then I had gotten some time and I had shot the clear coat on the body, so she's cleared. All the decals are in there and I haven't polished it. You can see there's a little bit of specks and stuff in the paint. Sometimes I'll leave that, sometimes I'll polish it out. I'm undecided on this one at the moment. She's looking really good. I mean, ultimately I rarely take them to shows. They're pretty much on my bench, so you guys seeing them online and in videos is about most they usually get seen. Maybe the club guys will get to see them, or anybody who comes by the house. But this thing's all painted and pretty much ready for foil. There's a couple areas I may just experiment with polishing, as sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I consider this one acceptable for me. So that's just my expectation level. But I need to black this out, foil it, and it's pretty much ready to go. But I did black out the whole inside. You can see the headliner that's molded in. It really stands out now. And where the dome light goes and where the sun visors go, which are separate parts, which is really nice. And I blacked the whole inside out. So there's the body, and she's pretty much ready. And then same thing, hood is decaled and cleared and painted. And then I also got the underside done. That's all brush painted, but it came out really nice. The hood, of course, is not. This is all airbrushed, decaled, and clear coated with the automotive clear that I am using. But so see my other video on that. But yeah, I shot this. And she's looking really good, really happy with that. Then I started working on the interior. So here's how this is coming out. Got the SYC decals on the headrests, which those are right from the 69 Yenko Camaro decal sheet that I got. And then the seat belts are actually from the Revell kit, and I put them in. They look pretty good, but one little tip for you guys. I didn't use decal setting solution on the back seat belts, and they lay down nice and they look more realistic. But I wasn't thinking. I put the decal setting solution on the front ones. As you can see, it pulled them down into the pleats and kind of makes them not look quite so real. So a little suggestion there: don't use the decal setting solution. Let them have the little air bubbles that stand up in the ridges. And I think that looks better, but it's your call. Whether or not you even use the seat belts, most of the time they're not even included. So. And then I got the pedals mounted, and then the shifter mounted right to the center console. So you can see I removed the center console and its mounts, and I drilled a little hole. And then the shifter ball, I went with black on this one, and Revell gives you the decals right there. Let's see if it focuses on it. But you get the 4-speed shift pattern. What's kind of nice is I did the ball in black, and on the Yenkos that I was seeing and any of the 4-speed Chevelles, I've seen a ton of them with white shifter balls and a ton of them with black shifter balls. So I went with black. But one thing I thought was funny, and by the way, Revell gives you the decal in both black and white. So you have the shift pattern in both black and white, so you could easily add that. So I got a kick out of the instruction sheets because of that. Here's right into the sheet. Here's the console that I didn't use, but there's the shifter. It gives you the call out for H, for color code H. So I'm like, okay, and I look, there's A through F, G, so no H, which I think H is probably supposed to be white, because black has a different color code, semi-gloss black, but H is not on there. And it's the only place. And the other thing, this is the windshield washer bottle. On the Chevelles, it's molded in white, kind of an opaque white, but that should be white. And it's not even called out in the instruction sheets to paint it. It's probably buried so far in the engine compartment you really can't see it because it's down low and the firewall goes there. We'll see how it is, but I went ahead and, as you see, I brush painted it white. So mine's white, and then painted the cap black. So we'll see if you can actually see it or not, but I painted it white. But yeah, there's no white call out on there. So got those ready, and then here's the dash. The dash has some multi-low pen on it in chrome, so the shinier parts are chrome, other parts are just silver that I dry brushed. And there you can see the decal gauges, which came out really nice, went in there really easy. So all 3 gauges. There's one for the radio. I had a problem with it sticking, and then somehow it just flew off, so I lost it. But I did put the one across here, and I seen some with the Yenko badge on the glove box. Most of them don't, so I kind of left that off, but I was half tempted to put it on there. But I think I'll add a tack to it, because some of them have the tacks mounted to the column, some of them have tacks mounted to the dash. So I'm probably going to add a tachometer to it, but I haven't decided. The steering wheel came out awesome. I used the, let's let it focus here, the decal from the Camaro decals that I got, the Yenko Camaros, and put it right on there. So you can still kind of see the SS molded in there, but it has a circle for the non-SS dash and the highlights. And it actually fit the steering wheel really well. This is the actual Revell kit steering wheel that has the SS on it. And I left it there. And you could use the SS one because some of the Chevelles actually had the SS emblem still on it. And then here's the battery with the Delco decal on it and the red caps. So that's all painted and ready to go. I'll let my camera focus here, or try to. I'm playing with lighting settings and just trying to learn stuff as I go along, so I changed some of my settings here so you can kind of, so hopefully I can get into the camera and you can see more of the detail. But there's the firewall, the booster, and the wiper motor, and the brake master cylinder. So there's those 4 parts all glued together. That's looking really good. And then here's the door panel. Just semi-gloss black and some highlights with the Motolo pen. Some of the highlights were kind of hard to do, and I kept having to touch up, so sometimes I got a little too much silver and I went back over and hid those areas under some more semi-gloss black. But that's looking really good. So yeah, both door panels are done. But I figure I could show them to you right now at this particular point and then glue all of that back together. And then I got the engine glued to the chassis, and I got some of the decals on the engine. You can see that decal on the valve cover, and then the decal on the oil filter right there, which that decal is actually from the Camaro set of decals that I had. There's another one that's on the Revell kit, but this one had the white background, so I used it. And then last to show you, I did, of course, semi-gloss black the whole floor and the inner fenders. So I semi-glossed the firewall and let it fade into the blue in the primer. So there's that, and then shot the wheel openings in also the same black, and got very little overspray in the rest of the chassis, but there's a lot of blue overspray and primer, and then I painted the gas tank steel. So this is pretty much ready, and I'll start putting the chassis and the interior completely together and get that going, and some more polishing and bare metal foil on the body. So stay tuned and you'll see some more updates on this. Well, here we go as we're nearing the end of this. I finished polishing up the body here, so you see the shine on that roof there. Look at that. And the same thing on the trunk where those little specks of dirt were, those little buggers. Polished them out. So have some of the spotlights hit it. But she's looking really good. And then there was a spot on the door I did too, but I still got to hit it with a little bit of rubbing compound to get some of the fine swirls out of it. And then I'll bare metal foil it. So that's my next steps here. Get the windows in, bare metal foil it. But this will probably be the last update on this one, and next thing you know, you'll probably see it done. Not sure if I'll have one more update on it. But there's the body, and how I did that was I got these polishing pads from Micromesh here, and this tells you the grits here. So I started with 4,000 grit, which is this one right here, and I wet sand and polished, and then that one works fast, takes the bump right down. Then this is the next one, 6,000, and then moved up to 8,000 grit. So that's the 8,000 grit, the royal purple. And then the last one is the 12,000 grit in gray. They're still kind of wet from me using them, but polished them out and took some of those boogers out of the body, and she's looking really good. Got the dash assembled here, so you can check that out. Looking at my parts stash for a tack to possibly put on there, but she's ready. All I gotta do is glue it in, and then nothing really changed on the hood. And then I did do some more assembly on this. So there's the core support, and the radiator hoses are all in place there, and engine's in place, door panels are on, firewall's on. And this thing pretty much pulls. I even got the wheel backs on, but look at the underside with the overspray and the black chassis parts. And I think I'm going to paint this sway bar steel, like the front sway bar, just to have it come out a little bit. But I painted the rear shocks gold. But this is all glued together and pretty much ready to pop right in the body. But it's looking great. I still got to detail the wheels, get them fitted to these wheel backs, which these wheel backs are a little bit smaller. And then I've got a couple of Yenko decals to put under the hood. There's one that goes on this fan shroud, and then sometimes they put one on this valve cover. So I'll do that, but the Tonawanda stickers on that valve cover. And then the SYCs are on the headrest that I mentioned. But so I've got very little left to do to this. I mean, it's just going together really well. But and then you can really see that overflow bottle. I painted it white. The battery all detailed. But it fits together really nice. And it's got a little puzzle piece. You can see some of my super glue right there, but I can touch that up with a semi-gloss black, or leave it, because you pretty much won't be able to see it once it's glued in. But real happy with the way this thing is coming out here. But not much longer on this one. So yeah, a little bit more polishing just with the rubbing compound, just to get some of the swirls off, but you know, the camera's not picking them up. So, you know, and that trunk took all the little bumps out. You can see it earlier in the video. You see some of the bumps, but really took them out. And that was just a little bit of effort. Just don't go on it too long, because you can burn through it, and just be careful of the edges. But so that's where this is at. So this one pretty much going to be done here real soon. But yeah, I got a little bit more bare metal foil to do, a little more detailing to the body and the bumpers, get all that stuff ironed out. But thanks for watching and subscribing and sharing, and your comments. I appreciate all of them. So stay tuned, and you have a wonderful day.